Clever Hub users, this is Stephanie, and today we are going to talk about how to create your first sign-up form. The reason that we use sign-up forms is so that you can grow your list. People need to have a way to exchange their email address for something that you are giving of value. So a newsletter or an opt-in of some sort, or coming to an event. So sign-up forms are pretty much the crux of this entire system. It's how you grow your list. So I'm going to show you today how to create a sign-up form. Now, I will show you in a different video how to use sign-up forms to create your opt-in and all the settings that you need to do for that. But for this video, I just want to show you simply how to create a sign-up form. So the first thing that we're going to do is make sure that we're in the right group. And if you are creating an opt-in, a sign up for, say, an opt-in, I highly recommend that you create a new group for it. Again, get as segmented as possible. So I'm actually going to do that first. Let's create a new group. I'm going to click the gear here next to groups, new group. I'm going to call it opt-in 1, and I'm going to use the settings from Clever Hub, create new group. All right, now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to website, sign up forms, and I'm going to build a new form. I'm going to call this form opt-in 1 so that it coincides with the group. And then you can choose the design for your sign up form. My favorite is flat aqua. You can click the little question mark here and you can see kind of how all of these look. Flat aqua is just my favorite because it's responsive, it doesn't have a border, and it kind of matches my site. So that's the one that I tend to use a lot, but any of these are good. I would absolutely use a responsive one if I were you. They're just better in general. So I'm going to click flat aqua, and I want the background to be transparent, yes. And then at the top, I'm going to say enter your email, and I'll send you the PDF. Maybe it's a quick start guide of some sort, or maybe an ebook. And then I don't like to show any text above the list of groups because I just want to focus on this. So I delete that, I click this, and then you can do a little formatting here if you want the button text to say something else like, send it, which is great. Size and color, that's fine. Maybe I want the text to be white, let's say. And I click save. Now, if we do nothing more than this, Clever Hub will add in some formatting for you. Now, no matter what, a sign-up form has to capture an email. So at the very minimum, this form will capture an email for you. If you look at the test form, you can see enter your email, I'll send you the PDF. Here's our email address. Here's a CAPTCHA, send it. We turned this white if you remember. Now I want to do a couple things here. I don't want to have a CAPTCHA. I don't think I need that, and I want this to be a little bigger. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to make the default text size and font a little bigger. So maybe I'll make that 16 point, and I'll choose something cute like Tahoma. I'm going to click save. I'm going to look at it. Okay, it's getting better. So this is a little bigger so I can see it. And now in my options, I'm going to set this to easiest to use, no CAPTCHA. I'm going to click save. Okay, see, this is looking a lot better. It's a lot simpler. I like it. Okay, so now that we got the design kind of the way we want it, I'm going to go to groups here. Now that I've created a new opt-in group, I absolutely want them to go into this group, obviously. The nice thing about Clever Hub is that I can add them to other groups as well. So I've created the Clever Hub group here as kind of my mass total email group so that everybody who joins goes into this group, and I can do one big newsletter send out to them if I like, or if I want to. So I'm going to have them join both groups. The nice thing about this is that then I can only email them if they got into this opt-in. So say I have 3 opt-ins and somebody comes in through the 3rd opt-in, somebody comes in through 2nd and 1st. I don't want to email everybody in my mass list and say, hey, did you like that PDF, when only the people here downloaded that PDF. So it's, again, I can't emphasize this enough, segment out your list as finely as humanly possible, and this is a good way to do it. Okay, information. Now, as I said before, the system will capture the email, and if you want to capture other things, this is how you do it. So I want to ask their first name so that I can say, hey, Jeff, thanks for downloading the PDF. It's on its way, or you know, something like that. If you don't have a relationship with someone, if you've asked them to download something and it's a completely cold lead for you, don't ask them more than just their first name and their email, or maybe just even their email. It's really difficult to get somebody to fill out a complete form in order to get your ebook or your opt-in in general. So you can get that information later. I wouldn't ask for more than this right here. Add logic, we're going to go over that in a little bit. I just want to show you how to simply create a form, but this stuff is cool, so keep watching. All right, so I'm going to ask for first name and email. I'm going to save this. I want to see what my form's looking like. Okay, email, first name, send it, great. Okay, now I'm going to go to options. Now you can see that we already clicked ease of use. Progressive profiling basically means that if the system already knows who this person is, that they'll automatically autofill the form fields, which is a really nice perk for them. Email communication, email sent from, there's my name, there's my email. Say that I wanted this form to send from a different email. I can do that here. What is the point of this? Well, maybe you're using Clever Hub for different clients. You could be a marketing consultant doing email marketing and automation for your clients, and you have them all in Clever Hub with you. So say you wanted to have a sign up form for client A, client B, and client C, you would want those emails to be sent from their name, not yours. So you could put that here. If somebody signs up in your sign up form, you can have the system alert you. So then you put your email, or maybe you put your client's email here, and the system will send you a note if somebody has filled out the form. As you know, when somebody fills out a form, they have to double opt in. You've probably been through this a million times, where you get an email sent to you that says, hey, click here to confirm that you want to download this free ebook. That is a double opt-in. That's what this is. The system will build one for you. If you would like one that is more custom to your brand, you can absolutely do that, and the instructions are right here, and we will go over that in the next video on using sign-up forms for your opt-in, but just so you know, it can be done. Okay. Once they fill out your form, you can send them to a thank you URL. This is before they confirm. After they confirm, you can send them to a different thank you URL. Use case here would be maybe, hey, thanks for signing up for my ebook. There's an email waiting in your inbox to confirm that you'd like it. Make sure to open that up. Once they do that and they confirm, then the thank you URL maybe takes them to a download button. So you can play around with that. If they're already in the group, or if they've already downloaded or something, you can have them go to a different URL here, perhaps. If somebody's already in this group and or in your system in general, you don't want to have them keep confirming that they want to be in your group, or you can. It's totally up to you. But this gives you the option. So say somebody signed up for one of your opt-ins, a couple weeks ago, and you have a new one. Maybe you did a content upgrade or some tip sheet or something, and you want them to be able to get it. Typically, you don't ask them to confirm over and over and over again that they want to be on your list. This is just nice for them. They don't have to deal with it. So up to you. Upon immediate confirmation, you can send them an immediate follow-up email, which I will show you how to do in the opt-in video. And then you can be notified. This is a notification email headline here and here if you have somebody that has signed up from the form. Now, I have a form where somebody on Clever Hub, if they want to talk to me more about the system, can ask me to give them a call. So in that instance, on my sign-up form, I have a custom headline here with a code number, so that I have created a separate rule in my email system that when it sees that code number, that it alerts me and sets it to be really important and puts it in a different email box. So you can use that for the same thing if you like, or you can just leave it how it is. Allow if already in group, that is totally up to you. And then I always set this to no. Automatically update location. Basically, Clever Hub can determine where somebody lives using research across the internet and their ISP address. I say no to this because some people, if they sign up and maybe they're in New York, but they were just there for a conference and they heard about Clever Hub and they signed up for something, but they really live in LA, I don't want to have the system ping them as living in New York when they're really in LA. So I don't update their location. If they put in their zip code or whatever, then that can happen. So I'm going to click save. Autoresponders, we're going to go through this in the opt-in video. Don't worry about this just yet. Gmail schema, that's a little more advanced for what we're doing today. So let's just look at our form. It looks good. And I know that once somebody submits this, they're going to go into the opt-in group and the Clever Hub group. So now my opt-in form is done. I've saved it and it's ready to go. So now that it's ready to go, you have to deploy it. You have to put it somewhere so somebody can actually sign up, right? So that's where this comes in. Right next to your sign up form is HTML code, and you can do that 3 different ways here. You can use a link. You can put the HTML code right there on your site, or you can attach the link here to a button that you've put on your site. You can actually use this HTML form method, and you can upload that into the source code on your site if you like. You can update things here too if you need to. Let's see. Margins and fonts and the intro text and things like that. I would recommend doing that within the WYSIWYG and the editor, not within the code, but if you needed to, you could. Or an iframe. You can embed that into your form, or excuse me, your website if you needed to as well. So I'm going to show you really quickly an inline form that I have on Clever Hub. So you can see right here, I've created a form just like I showed you, and I use the iframe. And so within the page itself, this is a form that can dynamically scroll. Within this form, I'm going to show you how to do this real quick here in a second. you can create logic for these questions. So if you say, are you married? And I say, yes. When is your anniversary? And I can type that in. I can ask for a date, which that's not it. This is my anniversary. Do I have kids? I do. How many? I have one. She's a girl. Great. Do you have pets? I do. I have one dog. Her name is Squirt. And what's my favorite beverage? Coffee. My birthday is, April 17th. And then, I can go through the rest of this stuff. And I click, yeah. That will go into my contact form within Clever Hub. So let's go in and let me show you how to add logic, which is really cool. Say that I wanted to see somebody's website address, but I wanted to ask them in a different way, or oh goodness, let's see. I could show, let's say I want to ask them what their title is. So I want to ask them what their title is only if they filled in a company name. Or let's see. Contains Exxon. So maybe they work at ExxonMobil and I want to track everybody that does that. So what I did was I selected that the title shows up only if they show the company contains the name Exxon. So I need to require that somebody fills in the company code. Now let's test it, make sure I did it correctly. Okay, so I put in Exxon. Oh, and it pulled up the title. I'm CEO. How's that? Now, do you see how the title is above Exxon? That's because it's like that here. So if I wanted to pull that down, I'd pull that below. The best use case here is if I have created user-defined fields. So you can see that all of these fields are here, but maybe you want to add your own fields. So what I've done on a previous form is I've created a field that says, can I ask you a couple more questions? And if they click yes, then I have set up which fields here that I want to pop up. So let me show you where you put in user-defined fields. We're going to click the gearbox, user-defined data. Let's just say, can I ask you a few questions? It's going to be yes or no. I'm putting yes, no. Showing this group only, no. I'm going to go all groups. All right. I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to add in, maybe, do you like coffee too? Yes or no. Okay. So now I've added in 2 user-defined fields. I'm going to go back to my sign-up form. I'm going to click edit. Let's see. I'll go back to not used here. You should see my user-defined fields are right here. So, can I ask you a few questions? That's required. So, let's test our form as it is right now with that being required. Can I ask you a few questions? Yes or no? Yes or no, or both. Okay. I'm going to show, do you like coffee too? If, can I ask you a few questions, is yes. Or I can ask optional if you want. So if I click yes here, do you like coffee too? Yes, send it, submit, or whatever you want to say. But you can see that if I add in some logic here, that it can make your forms super dynamic, and it will also make them dynamic within the code so that it works on your website, which is really cool. So then, you know how we talked a little bit about if a form gets too long and people don't quite know you yet, or you don't have a relationship with them, they may not fill out all of that information. So if you ask them for permission, can I ask you a few more questions, and they say yes, they might be more willing to give you more information. And the form might not look so huge and scary. If I collapse these, you know, the form doesn't seem so daunting. This form is because somebody actually signed up for CleverHub, so they know me, and I built a relationship with them, and you probably filled this out yourself so that I can keep up with you and you know a little bit more about you. So anyway, that is how you create a sign-up form within CleverHub, and then in the next video I'll show you how to fully set up your opt-in. And as a reminder, if you have not signed up for your CleverHub account, you are more than welcome to sign up for a trial and follow along in these tutorials.